Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone had a great day today. Just on my way back from the gym, and I thought I'll make a quick informational opinion piece. When we speak about arbitration, guys, we got to be mindful that the way that people's minds are designed, they usually tend to remember the thing that affects them the most, right? So when we speak about arbitration and we talk about what we may not get, that's what's going to stick in people's minds, all right? People that are going to vote no, they're going to vote no. People that are going to vote yes, are going to vote yes. It's the swing voters, okay? It's the young people. It's the people that are going to get the most out of this contract in the beginning of their career. And it's going to be the people that are closer to retirement, right? The people going to retirement, they understand they probably have 1-2 more years, and their goal is just to get the highest salary that they can to increase their average base 3, to increase their FERS annuity, aka their pension, right? So there's not really too many reasons why a senior letter carrier who is going to retire this year or next year has any reason not to accept this contract. They only have the incentive of a higher pay, okay? So what that means is senior letter carriers that have been here for 20, 30 years, we thank you for our service. We thank you for your service, okay? If I was union president, if I was a national president today, or even if I was a national business agent, the most important people that I would have to look out for are going to be the people that have been here and the people that have been here longer, okay? The new hires, okay? A letter carrier is a letter carrier is a letter carrier. I understand that, okay? However, I got to think about the people that's been here for 20 years. The people that have been here through not only the pandemic, but the recession, okay? The guys who've been here since the .com boom, okay? Some people that have been here since the stock market crash in the late 80s, okay? You guys have seen so much through the Postal Service, and you've seen the Postal Service transition from what it was to where it is today, okay? So my number one agenda will be to take care of the people that are closer to retirement. Okay, people in retirement, you guys know what it's been. You guys been through it, right? So I would ask that you guys, I understand the financial aspect of it. I understand you guys want to get a higher pay. I understand that you guys are ready to retire. However, I would ask that you guys take a look back on your career, what you've been through, and how you guys were treated through your career, through management, or even through your shop stewards in your union. Think about the good times and the bad times, right? And then think about this job as going into the future and the things that we're going to be challenged with. And some of that's going to be AI, some of that's going to be technology, some of that is going to be the volume of mail, okay? And keep that in mind as a letter carrier, how you guys transition from mail into packages, and how packages are probably going to be our business, right? So what I would ask you guys is, rather than just vote with your wallet, vote with the consciousness of the career that you laid out for us, because you guys have laid the way for what we have today, and we have to pick up the pieces to create the future that we're going to have later on. But more importantly, I would want you guys to remember this. Whether you accept the tentative agreement or not, whether we go to arbitration, your top pay will be increased, and hopefully more than just $1,000. Okay. When you lend support to the mid carriers, okay, mid carriers, this is your fight. Okay, this contract is a fight for mid carriers. It's for, if you're from step D or on, this is your fight. This is your postal generation. Okay, I'm not talking about age generation or age gap. I'm talking about your year you got hired generation. This is your guy generation fight. Okay, this is when you guys stick together in solidarity. Okay, the guys that have been doing this job for 10 to 18 years, and you guys say, all right, we got smacked in the face as when we were TEs. Okay, the last contract was for CCAs. Okay, all the CCAs got all the benefits. Okay, this contract, I get it. We're gonna help out the people on top, right? We're gonna give them the $1,000 at the top, right? But what happens in this contract is you guys get screwed again, because you guys helped out the CCAs in the last contract. Now you guys are going to help out the CCAs again and the new hires. So this is where you guys got to stand together and say, you know what, all we're getting is a 1.3. That's unacceptable. Okay, so getting back to my point at hand, the new carriers, I get it. The starting pay is crap. And one of the strongest arguments from any carrier is going to say, well, you know what? You got to put in your time. Everyone's putting their time. And I understand that. I had to put in my time too. If I was a Union National president today, if I was a national business agent, one thing I have to take into account is that a carrier is a carrier is a carrier. Okay, so I got to understand that if I'm given a budget, okay, if I'm given $2 billion and I got 220,000 letter carriers, how do I divide that money equally between everybody? All right, the simplest solution will be is to skip everyone 2 steps up, right? So what does that mean about the bottom carrier? Unfortunately, bottom carriers probably won't get that raise, right? They will still have to put in their 2 years at a CCA rate. However, when they do become regular, they will get a substantial wage increase. But what does that do for the mid carrier? It rewards you guys as well, okay? Because even if you maxed out at step P, there has to be a dollar amount that equals at least what 2 steps will be, which is 4%. So that would be a 4% raise at the top, okay? And then what will happen is the senior letter carrier benefits too, because their high 3 will go up, okay? Now, the solution is to get everyone a piece of the pie equally, okay? The disproportionate of giving the younger carrier the money is simply for retention, okay? I understand that we have a postal service that needs as many carriers as they can get. However, this contract is not the contract to settle that. This contract is the contract to pay the people that have been here, all right? We're gonna have another contract in 2026. Let that contract figure out the starting rate, all right? And I know this is gonna be controversial. I know people are gonna unfollow me, especially you younger carriers, but you gotta understand, younger carriers, there's no reason that you guys should be rewarded. And this is gonna be controversial. There's no reason you guys should be rewarded for joining a career when people that have been in this career are gonna get screwed. Now, I know that sounds like, oh, well, you don't like the CCA. No, trust me, I was a CCA. It's totally unfair. But if I'm given a budget, and I have to divide it amongst the 220,000 letter carriers throughout my country, throughout the nation, I'm gonna take care of the people that have been here, okay? Now, how do you help out the younger carrier? Well, you implement more work restrictions, all right? No longer should you guys be forced overtime. I don't agree with that. No longer should you guys be forced to work 12-hour days. I don't agree with that. You guys should be guaranteed 2 days off, right? Because in essence, this should be a career job, all right? And what they do at the lower level is you're basically on a probationary period for 2 years. That's not the right term, but it's basically what it is. You're guaranteed 2 years and then you convert, right? But now if you listen to my plan and we give the higher end carrier that 4% raise overnight, okay, plus the COLAs, 4% plus the COLAs, and then, you still need a general wage increase throughout the rest of the contract. We'll keep that at 1.3, right? But what we're doing is we're taking care of the senior letter carriers that are going to retire this year and next year. So in return, that might cause 30,000 letter carriers to retire overnight, right? And what that does is it frees up the CCAs to be converted into regular PTFs quicker. Okay, no longer do they have to wait the 2 years. So you might work at $20 an hour for 6 months, but you know what? In that 6 months, you're beginning to learn the job. Okay, because basically what I see is that CCAs don't case today. CCAs come in at 10 o'clock. Regular full-time employees like myself are casing the routes, pulling them down, getting the packages ready for them, and CCAs are just coming in and hitting the street. All right, you have to learn the job. 100%. You have to learn the job. You have to learn how to fill out a 3996. You need to practice these things. And it seems like management isn't teaching you guys. And then when you guys convert overnight, now you're expected to meet an 18 and 8 standard to case. And you're expected to reach these things that they push upon regular carriers. And in a way, you guys are set to fail from the beginning. So the 6 months where you guys getting paid $20 an hour, that's a learning curve, all right? Okay, because under the new contract, when you guys convert after 2 years, you're going to be making 26, depending on what the COLAs are, you're going to be making 26, 27, all right? If I was a union president and we follow my plan that everyone jumps 2 steps, you'll still be making that, because it would still eliminate the cost of step A or AA or step A today. That would increase that pay based off of the proportion of what step O is, right? And then, you know, probably we won't get 100% COLAs this time if I was the president, but that would be my next 2026, right? So we would take a 2-step increase this year, okay? We would take care of the mid carriers and the end carrier, and then next contract we'll focus on 100% COLA and doing something about the CCA position, maybe eliminating it. But any contract that doesn't take care of the mid-tier carriers is a smack in the face, all right? And mid-tier carriers, you have to understand, you guys have been the backbone for the last 10, 15, 16, 17 years. And you guys are the ones getting smacked in the face. Yeah, so that's all I got to say. Like, you know, even YouTube guys that are speaking about the contract still, you know, it seems like they're still talking about the fears of arbitration and what we may lose. Don't be scared about that. Don't even listen to that anymore. It doesn't make sense. It either is or it isn't. Either you're going to vote yes or you're going to vote no, okay? And at that point, if we do vote no, then more should follow. We can't just vote no. Now we got to demonstrate. We got to do informational pickets. We got to begin to reform this union and put people into leadership positions that align with all 3 level of carriers, because that's what it is. You have 3 tiers, believe it or not. You have CCAs, you have mid-tier, and then you have table 1. So you got table 1, table 2, and table 3. So, you know, just being fair as any negotiator, you got to keep all 3 in mind and what benefits all 3 tables, all right? Consolidate table 1 and table 2, then you still got table 3, which is CCA. Get rid of CCA, now you got table 2, right? That was my thought process. I don't know if that makes sense. I know it's not gonna resonate with everyone, but, you know, just on the financial part of it, we definitely got to take care of the mid-tier carriers. And mid-tier carriers, remember that this contract is basically pitted against you. So your vote is probably the most important vote. Anyway, guys, until next time, I'll be here. You'll be there. Peace.